Wait, did you know this? That immediately you hit 100,000 Kenyan shillings somewhere, or whichever the 100,000 it is, the net worth skyrockets in a very crazy way. Now, today on this video, I'm going to show you on this board that why does exactly that happen. And let me tell you one secret. If you can manage to have an investment only worth 100,000, or if you can pull up your socks to a point where you can reach 100,000, I am telling you the amount of return that you'll get, it's crazy. That's where now the nature, or rather we call it the nature of investment, usually multiplies at a very crazy rate. That is exactly what I'm going to show you how or what exactly happens on that case regard. All right. And I'm going to use a very simple case scenario. But before that, go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure that you subscribe. And by the way, make sure that you turn that notification bell on. Why? Because I upload a video each and every day and I talk about investment, anything related to exactly that. And I don't want to waste of your time. Let's get to the business. By the way, leave me a comment on the comment section. Okay. Now, see, for example, let's say you take something like, for example, okay, some of you here, maybe you have ever hit your savings of 100,000 Kenyan shillings. I'm using Kenyan shilling because I'm a Kenyan, all right? You can use the concept. For example, how long did it take you to actually raise 100,000 Kenyan shilling? How long? Some of you have never even managed to get that amount of money. But then, if you can remember the very first time you actually hit your 100,000 Kenyan shillings. By the way, did you know this? It is very hard to get from 1,000 Kenyan shillings all the way to 100,000 than it is to get from 100,000 to 1 million. How many can attest to that? And by the way, it is very easy to get 1,000 to 1 million, or it's very hard to make your first million than it is to make your second million. And I'm going to debunk that kind of information on this video. Okay? Now, this is what happens now. See, if you want to raise 100,000, assume that you're going to raise this amount of money by savings. And let's say you can only manage to save, say, 5,000 per month. That will gonna take you couple like 20 months for you to raise that amount of money. Okay, let's say you set aside 5. That will take you like 20 months. That's like 1 year and 8 months or something of sort. It takes a little bit of longer period of time. Let's say maybe you've managed to save like 10,000 each and every month. That will take you approximately 10 months to raise the 100,000. Okay, now this is the point. And if maybe you're watching me from the Western countries and what have you, wow, saving 10,000 a month, I'm telling you, that's crazy. Maybe you talk about per year. If you were to save 10,000 per year, that would take you like 10 years. Can you imagine 10 until you raise your 100,000? That would take you like 10 years in a period of time. Now, this is the miracle that I want to show you here, okay? Now, before you save the first 100,000, it takes you a little bit longer period of time. So below 100,000 up to 100,000 takes a long period of time. Now, by the time now you raise the 100,000 by the savings and what have you, assuming that you save 10,000 per month, it will take you 10 months. Assuming that you save 10,000 per year, it will take you approximately 7.8, 7.5 years, thereabout, couple of years. Actually, not even 7, to take you like 10 years for you to raise that amount of money. You can just imagine how long it is. Now, assuming you do this now, that amount of money, you take it, the 100,000, you invest it, and in Kenya, we are getting an approximately return of around 13% or 14% or thereabout. Assuming that you're getting 14% of that return from that 100,000 that you're getting. Now, this is the thing that I want to show you. For example, if you take 10,000, for example, if you take 10,000, you invest it somewhere where it's giving you, let's just throw a simple number there of 14%, the one that I picked here. Then it means at the end of the year, you're going to get yourself 1,400 at the end of the year. On a very serious note, for those who are watching, getting 1,400 Kenyan shillings at the end of the year, doesn't sound like a sweet amount of money. I mean, seriously, it's not like a huge chunk of cash. True or not true? That's very true. But what if you save something like 200,000, and then you get the same 14%? How much do you get that? So because 100,000 gives you 14,000, this gives you around 28,000. That's now a good language. 28,000 is quite of a good money. I mean, seriously, if you get this money during the holidays of December and what have you, I mean, you can do something substantive with the amount of money. True or not true? Absolutely. Now, this is it. Now, once you actually manage to get the first 100,000, that 100,000 you invest it at a rate of 14%. You get yourself 14,000. Now, that 14,000, this is the trick that I want to show you. Assuming now that trick, and I want to see how long it will take you to move from the first 100,000 to the second 100,000. Remember one thing, you're continuing doing your savings. But now the point is this, yeah? If it took you, assuming that you're saving 10K per month, if it took you 10 months, 10 times 10 is 100, so meaning it's 100,000. So if it took you 10 months to save the 100,000, now you've invested the initial 100,000, gives you the 14,000. You have like a 1 month and a half hanging somewhere. So it will take you less than 10 months. So approximately it will take you 9 months, assuming there is 4 months hanging somewhere. Okay. So it will take you what? Rather not 4 months. It will take you 9 months. If it will take you 9 months, now you have your what? Another 100,000. So you have the new 100,000 and the previous 100,000. Now you have 200,000. This 200,000 subjected to 14%, it will give you 28,000. This 28,000, you simply now have 2 months hanging somewhere, right? So if it took you 10 months minus the 2 months, it will take you 8 months. And then remember, there is 8,000 hanging somewhere. Now, by the time now you're saving for the third year, you have your 300,000. This 300,000 is subjected to 14%. Then it gives you, it's like this plus 14,000 gives you what? 42,000. If it gives you 42,000, guess what up now? You have a 4 months that has actually made you money without you doing nothing. So the 4,000 or the 4 months, you subject it to subtract that from 10,000. Guess what happens now? You get your 6 months. Okay, by the time now you're clicking the 4th year, you only need 6 months to raise the 100,000 that took you 10 months, or in other words, that took you 7.4 years, or rather 10 years. Now, if you go ahead and reach the point number 5, if you have your 500,000, subject this 500,000 to a 14%, it is 42,000 plus 14,000. Are we together? Or the math is not mathing? This is pure mathematics. Numbers don't lie. So it is 42 plus 14. That gives you 56,000. 56,000, what does it mean? It means that you have 5 months hanging somewhere. So basically now, but then now you're clicking the 5th month, or rather the 5th year, for the 500,000, you need half the period of time that you took 5 years ago. You get my point? Then what exactly does it mean? If you are saving per year, if initially it took you 10 years to raise the 100,000, assuming you're saving 10,000 per year, then it's going to take you half of that period of time, which is 5.4 years, or rather 5 years or 5.1 years. That's why we say this one takes you 10 years. Actually, I should have written 10 years here. Now, this one takes you 5.1 years. Guess what happens now? This one takes you 3.78 years, this 3.01 years, 2.5 years, 2.1 years, 1.1. A time will come in future, if you were to continuously calculate using the same formula, a time will come when you'll need even a single year to get an extra 100,000, extra 100,000, extra 100,000. A time again will come when you can literally double your money within a month, or 2 or 4 or 5, that kind of a thing. So this is the beauty of investing. This is the beauty of subjecting your money continuously into an investment that is actually giving you a compound interest, and at the same time it is giving you an interest rate. And when you invest this money in an area where it is stable, secured, where you realize one thing, there is not that huge fluctuation as far as the returns are concerned. For example, let's pick an example of money market fund in Kenya. The worst time that we had the lowest rate was around at 8%. That was the time we had like the lowest during the COVID-19 era and what have you. Then that means this is that thing that you can pick, use it as far as the investment is concerned, and it can give you huge and wonderful returns as far as the growth is concerned. So with that case regard, then it tells you why does it take hard, or rather why is it so hard, or why does it happen that the moment you clock the 100,000 of your savings or investments, the net worth starts to skyrocket and explode. This is exactly the formula that you apply out there. And let me tell you one secret. Have you ever heard of a saying that says that you need money to make money? Absolutely. That is exactly verifies that you need money to make money, because there is nothing else that can make you money apart from this. And there is a formula that I gave you, and I told you one thing. If you do not have the money, guess what happens now? If you do not have the money to invest to make money, usually trade 3 things. You trade your time, you trade your energy, and you trade your skills. And once you trade those 3 things, therefore you get paid. That's what we call the salary. Once you get the salary or the income, you actually subject a percentage of it, which is 20% recommended, subject that to an investment. Why? So that you can raise a system of money making system that is actually makes you money without you being present to actually literally learn that system. That's when now you do what? You invest. Therefore, what happens is that when you have the money now and you still have the time and energy and the skills and what have you, you can leverage on the time, the skills and energy and what have you to make money on the active side and also make money on the passive side. So the point is this: it takes money to make money. Let no one ever lie to you. It takes money. And I'm going to use a very simple example. Let's say you pick two individuals here. Let me just show you on this board. Let's say you pick two individuals here. Okay? You pick individual one, let's say individual A and individual B. You show up to their house early in the morning and you tell them, hey, individual A, good morning. How are you doing today? See, today I want you to get out of your house. You go make me 300 shilling a day. That's like $3. Okay? Go make me, you can just use the concept. Go make me 300 Kenyan shillings today. You give them nothing. You tell them, get out of the house at around 7 a.m. You go out there at the evening, at around 6 p.m. You come up, you give me the 300 that you've made. You have given them nothing. No clue, no tip, no nothing. And then individual B, you give them 2,000. You give them 2,000 and you tell them, hey, you know what, individual B, good morning. I want to take this 2,000, go out there, go make me 300 and come with it at the evening. Come with my 2,000 and an extra 300. So if you are individual A or B, which one would you pick to be? Definitely you choose to be individual B. At least you've been given a thing. This now is no longer functioning as money. You cannot term this as money. Probably you can call this as capital. You can call this as tool. Actually, it's a tool. It's a tool that can help you to actually go extra and make some money out there. Okay? Now, the point is this. It becomes a little bit easier in the language of making money to this individual compared to this individual. Why? This individual has a tool. The tool here is the money that is actually a capital. And that capital is what you use to generate more of it. And in this individual here has nothing to trade. This individual will actually think about, hey, I can actually go somewhere, get employed, I can offer my services, and if the guy does not have the skill, the guy can offer his energy, maybe to carry some loads, maybe say in a market somewhere or something of sort, maybe to, can be sent or some running some errands here and there. The guy will actually think within that line. This guy still has the time, has the energy, but he has an extra tool, which is now the money. That concept of you having that cash, you can be able to put it here, contextualize that concept here. That is exactly why the moment you hit your 100,000, actually reaching your million becomes a bit easier. And also your net worth actually skyrockets the moment you get that amount of money. So the point is this, before you get the 100,000, that's where the biggest effort is. And if you can try as much as you can, hit your first 100,000. Once you hit your first 100,000, use the brain, be smart, and actually invest. Multiply that money continuously in a period of certain time. Then you can be able to realize that money is multiplying at a crazy period of time. Why? Because you're seeing the period at which you're saving, it's reducing. And this is simply a reason why I always say investing is actually buying a day that you don't need to work. I'm going to repeat that. See, investing is actually buying a day that you don't need to work. How? For example, it took you 10 years or rather 10 months to save your 100,000. And the 100,000, if you have invested, gives you an extra 10,000 from an investment that gives you approximately 14,000 a month. Guess what happens now? It means that 10,000 that has been made extra without you doing nothing, it's like a whole month of a savings that you don't have to work. Assuming that you don't have to work, you're still going to realize your savings. So that money that again that you've gotten it, subject it again, it gives you more, gives you less period of time and that kind of a thing. This is the concept that you use to go ahead and invest, grow your money, and progress to the next level. I really hope I made sense out of this video. And if I did, leave me a comment on the comment section, leave me a like, and make sure that you subscribe on this channel because this is exactly what we talk about on this channel. My name is Good Joseph. And if you'd like to get a contact with me, my number is always on the description of this specific video and email as well for businesses. For now, it's a goodbye. See you in the next one.